A KY3 storm mode alert.
This is FI Wing in here. I need for all the folks down in here, I need for you guys to be in your tornado shelters right now.
You can see that little couplet see right over Neosho. That's the area that we're watching.
So here's the wall cloud. Remember I told you we had that lower base out there that was obscured by the rain. Here's the, look at how well defined this wall cloud is. It comes down and it is just a rectangle right in here.
And this is video of that tornado, folks. This is absolutely stunning. We have several videos like this, but that's a large tornado and the kind that we typically just, to use the cliche, see on TV, right?
And you can see that some damage is rather extensive to some homes and outbuildings. This looks like it may be a tractor barn of some sort or a house or some sort of equipment thrown into a house.
But essentially, you got a jet stream coming over the top of south surface winds. Imagine that's what this is. And so you create this twisting motion that's horizontal, and then when the storms develop, upward motion moves across that and draws it up into the storm and tightens it, much like when an ice skater is twirling around as she brings her arms in and she spins faster. That's kind of the same thing here.
Remember, oftentimes people say, well, it wasn't raining. We had this heavy rain, we had this hail, then there was this period of quiet, then we were hit with a tornado. This is what we're seeing take place here. We're in the shaft of the heavy rain right now on Chateau. Then behind this heavy rain, there's going to be a calm period. And then we notice these lowered bases right in here. And here's another lowered base right in here.
This time, the sirens were so loud, it was deafening. You couldn't miss the howl that was screeching in the night of the wind and the sirens competing for everyone's attention. As soon as that started, most of the town rushed back here to the American Legion to seek shelter in the basement. They've been doing this all day, off and on. This time, the water came with them. Flooding started becoming an issue later this evening as more warnings started coming out about potential flooding.
Look at this home. That's devastating. This is near Rogersville. That is a substantial home. We are seeing significant damage. This is what we do not want to see in the Ozarks tonight. We have heard of a few injuries reported across the Ozarks, a lot of those coming to us from portions of Christian County in that Waterford neighborhood where we saw some substantial homes damaged.
I'm still out in Wheaton. The rain is still coming down. You can see the lightning behind me. It's been thundering, and it's really been raining pretty hard for the last hour and a half.
We was in the house and saw it top the trees there and got in the truck and tried to race away from the storm.
Kind of a train going through, really. It just sounded like a giant vacuum cleaner, kind of.
People in Boone County say they were shocked at the damage this storm left.
Probably the trees, really. How a tree could be plucked out of the ground and cast off. That's probably the craziest thing I've seen.
Picking up the pieces, the debris cleanup across the Ozarks after multiple rounds of severe weather.
I couldn't believe it, hearing everything shake and the glass break.
We're just all really, really thankful nobody was in there.
45 tornado warnings issued. The big concern now, flooding, with Ava getting more than 7 inches of rain. Team coverage tonight on the damage across the Ozarks, the hundreds of volunteers helping those impacted, and what we can expect next. We have team coverage tonight of all the areas across the Ozarks that were hit, focusing on flooding, storm damage, and cleanup efforts going on right now.
But one thing we've learned is that tornadoes do not discriminate. They can go after mobile homes, they can go after farmhouses, subdivisions, and even large metropolitan areas like Joplin.
This is just one of 6 buildings that the Hughes family lost to yesterday's storm. And this house was actually a 2-story house. And what happened was the tornado came through and took out the bottom level. The bottom level was a garage space. And then what happened was the top half just fell down onto this concrete slab.
Steve, I'm here at a trailer park here on Ivy Lane in Lebanon. Earlier this afternoon, there were 2 trees that were laying on top of this mobile home. You can see this tree is cracked, and you're actually going to see video in just a few moments, but I do want to show you all of this area here. This entire roadway earlier this afternoon was covered in tree and tree limbs. A lot of those have been pushed off to the side right now, and there's another trailer right in the background here that has a tree the entire way through.
The only thing left standing of this brick house is the front door. Bill and Bernice Walker, they were winding down for the evening when they got a phone call telling them they needed to take shelter. The elderly couple it takes them some time to get moving. They had just about 15 minutes before the tornado hit their house. And by the time that they did make their way out of the basement, emergency crews, they were already here. Bill is disabled and had to be carried out of all the debris. He says it wasn't until this morning that he was able to get a really good look at what was left of his house. Still, he says none of this matters. It can all be replaced.
If we come out of that with just her and I, that's plenty. And things can always be replaced. You know, of course, we're at an age right now where it's going to take us a little, we have to be a little faster at replacing things, but we can do it.